A perfect example of social engineering was a program called XP Antivirus. The program used all the methods we discussed to convince a user to start it. XP Antivirus was created to swindle money as users were required to pay for it. This largest social engineering attack in history took place at the end of 2008. After entering a website, links to which were all over the internet, a window looking just like any system window came up. In the slide, you can see a window created for Windows XP, but later versions of Windows Vista were prepared too. Whether one version came up or the other was purely random because the script didn't check the version of the victim's operating system. But users usually didn't notice that. The message said, "Attention, if your computer is infected, you could suffer data loss," which is something nobody wants. Erratic PC behavior, PC freezes and crashes. In 2008, most computers were prone to such problems. So, most users reading such a message thought that it was created specifically for them. The message ended with the question, "Do you want to install XP Antivirus or scan your computer for malware now?" Sure, you'd want to. OK was a highlighted option. When a user clicked it, the attack went on. The message was straightforward. Detect and destroy viruses before they destroy your computer. If a user clicked cancel, another message came up, this time asking the user why they don't want to protect their computer. If a user chose OK, the window that came up suggested that a system scan was being performed. The scan always detected a large number of the most dangerous viruses of all sorts. Names of these viruses were fake. The scan was a scam too. Even in 2008, it was impossible to remotely scan a hard drive without any kind of interaction with the user. It was just a realistically looking GIF animation. Please note that all messages were written in perfect English. Automated translations, examples of which we've seen previously, weren't used. It all looked rather professional. After the scan was finished, a user was presented with two options. To ignore the threats was one of them. But nobody would ignore such threats. Everyone chose the other option, remove all. This, however, required users to install the XP antivirus. The online version could only perform a scan, but to delete the viruses, the full version was required. For people who understand how operating systems work, such a strategy makes sense. Attackers must somehow convince the user to perform actions they need him or her to perform. You can scare the user, you can promise them something, or you can do both. The goal of the first phase of the attack was to gain the user's trust so they would install the XP antivirus. You can gain more trust by employing an element well known to the user. A Certified for Windows logo is one example. Most real installation programs don't display this logo. The virus, however, had such a logo. In reality, it's just a bitmap that can be placed anywhere. Apart from the logo, the installation program displayed a link to the End User License Agreement. To use a program legally, you need to own a license and you need to read it through. The most interesting bits of the program's license are marked in red. The license mentioned customer support team. In case of any problems, the user should contact it for help. There was even a chat window on the XP Antivirus website. History of previous interactions with the users was displayed too. You could see that people reported problems and someone responded. The creators of the attack made it all look very professional. The license also stated that by accepting it, the user agreed that the details of his or her credit card were being retained within the entire period of the subscription. During the initial scan, nothing suggested that a payment would be required. Then, the license indicated that for using the program, the user would not pay once but on a regular basis. The license also explicitly stated that decompilation was prohibited. The user couldn't have been given the chance to monitor the XP Antivirus activities because that might have given away its real purpose. The second point of the license agreement stated that the program would uninstall the software it wasn't compatible with. Obviously, XP Antivirus was incompatible with real antivirus scanners. Basically, users agreed to uninstallation of already possessed antivirus software. However, you didn't have to read the license because it was optional. You didn't have to accept it. Moreover, the creators of XP Antivirus stated that they were not responsible for its actions performed on users' computers. That's something everyone's used to.